Today we are talking about the technique of router of sticky. We can use one interface to config and connect all the routing of the IP between the VLANs. For this purpose, we have a distribution switch and access switch. You can see, and we have a DHCP server. Uh, just for the example, I use VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 50 for management. So I will start to config. Just the attention for the devices, you must give access mode for the switch, and it says that which VLANs did that device use, and between the switches all is trunk. Also here between the switch and the router, we make it trunk. Again between the server and the switch is access to VLAN 50. So I will go and start to config the devices. First I go in access switch 1. Okay, I go in configuration, and then first I will start to make the VLAN 10 and VLAN 20 access switch. So I will go in gig 03 and say switch port mode access, then switch port access to which VLAN? VLAN 10. Okay, then the next one, interface giga 1/0 switch port, switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN 20. Okay, I did it. Then I will start to make these interfaces trunk. So 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. So I use the command of interface range 0/0-2. Okay, switch port trunk. I set it encapsulation.1q. For all the trunking we use this protocol, and switch port mode trunk. Okay, so we made all these three interfaces also in trunk mode. Now we check everything work fine. So I check it, show VLAN brief to check it. Yes, you can see here VLAN 10 giga 03, VLAN 20 giga 103. So our access is okay. Now we are checking, so IP interfaces trunk. So show, sorry, show interfaces trunk. Okay, and before I make the VLAN 10, 20, and 50, you must do it, make the VLANs in the switches, all the switches. There is two techniques: manually one by one config all the VLANs in the switches, or use the VTP master and client in Cisco. I did it manually because this is just four switches. You can add the VLANs 10, 20, and 50 in all the switches. So you can see here also the trunking is on the interfaces, and it allowed all these VLANs uh, for traffic. Now I will go to config the access switch, the other one. It is same, but it is like a practice. That's good. So we go in interface gig 03. Okay, bring it up. So I switch port, I set it access 03, switch port access to VLAN 10. Okay, next access interface gig 10, switch port mode access, switch port access to VLAN 20. And now the interfaces will make the other interfaces must be trunk. So I use interface range command. Okay. Oh, sorry. My interface range. Okay. Gig 0/0-2. Okay. Switch port trunk encapsulation .1q and switch port mode trunk. And now we will check everything for fine. So I check show VLAN brief. Okay, Giga 03 in VLAN 10, Giga 10 in VLAN 20. Perfect. Show interfaces trunk. Now we check the trunk. Yes, you can see all the VLANs and the interfaces. All is fine. So now we will go in distribution switch and start to configure it. As I told you, we make this access for VLAN 50 for the server, and these will be all trunk. So the process is the same. Interface gig 0/3, and I make it switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 50. Okay, now set the interface gig here 000102, and also we have gig 1/0, gig 1/0. Okay, sorry, what's the matter? 0-2. Oh, sorry, I make it interface range gig 0/0-2 and gig 1/0. Okay, so make it trunk switch port trunk encapsulation .1q switch port mode trunk. Okay, same as before, we check just the VLAN to check it the access work. Yes, you can see VLAN 50 Giga 03 here, and now show interfaces trunk. Okay, we have 4 interfaces, all are trunk. Good. Now we will go and configure the distribution switch 2. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Uh, Before I must tell you that I corrected here because VLAN 50 is for server, not for management. For management, maybe later we choose another VLAN. And I correct here, it's the DHCP. So I continue to configure the distribution switch 2. Sorry. Uh, I again explain you. Here I write it management. It was mistake. It was DA for DHCP. VLAN 50 is for DHCP, and maybe later we configure another VLAN for management. So now I configure the distribution switch 2. I go in interface range gig 0/0 till 0102. Yeah. I then switch port, make it a trunk, switch port trunk, encapsulation .1q, switch port mode trunk. Okay. We did all the configuration for the switches, and now we need. I don't check the trunk here, but you can just write show interfaces trunk to check all the trunk work. Now I start to configure the router. I will go in interface. I set here 192.168.1.1. So I will go in configuration mode, interface F00 no shot. Then I set the IP address 192.168.1.1 and the subnet 255.255.255.0. Okay, now here is important. For each VLAN, we must set a sub interface. Till now, we go directly in this interface and make it just one IP address. But now we want to use a IP interface. Oh, let me here shows it is half duplex. Let me I make this one also half duplex because the switch is half duplex and the router is not half duplex. I set it half duplex. Okay. Now I am going in the interface. Instead of 00, I put it 00.1 and check. And just look, it is sub interface. Now we are in sub interfaces. For one router, you can make so many sub interfaces, and each interfaces you can use for each VLANs, different VLANs. So I use this sub interface for VLAN 10. It is necessary you do some configuration. First of all, as you get all the data from the trunking, you must make it here encapsulation.1q and say that this subinterface belongs to which VLAN. If I make question mark, it says that give the name of the VLAN. So I set this in subinterface for VLAN 10 and I set the address IP address 192.168.10.1 255.255.255.0. That's it. We need to set another commands. See, when you, for each VLAN, you set sub interfaces, then after that, all the VLANs can ping together. But if each VLAN want to get some IP from DHCP server, you need to set an IP helper address here and put the IP of the DHCP server. I set this IP in because as it is in VLAN 50, I set it 192.168.50.10. So here is also in each sub interface for the VLANs, you need to introduce the DHCP server. So I will go and say that, okay, the helper address that give you the IP is 192.168.50.10. So I add the IP address of the DHCP server. That's it. You need to configure like this. Now I will go and do another interface, configure another interface, same step. So I make it 02. Okay. I make the encapsulation .1q for VLAN 20. Okay. I set the IP address 21. Okay. And the helper address that give the IP to DHCP, this command you can use it. Okay, I set. Now I am going another interface for VLAN 50. Okay, I set. Okay, for 50. We don't need IP helper address because it's in 50. And what else that we need to do? We set IP address. We set the IP address 192.168.50.1 255.255.255.0. I set this IP for this interface, and now we are looking to verify we did the correct configuration or not. So I write IP interfaces brief to check it. If you check it, you will see 00 it is 1 1, for 0.1 is 10 1, for 20 0.2 is 21, and for 3 is 51. Now it's time that we check it, VLAN can config together, can ping together or not. So I will open the PC1 and PC2. Okay. So first of all, I want to be sure clear IP. I set IP manually. Here PC1 is in VLAN 10, so I set 192.168.10 point, for example, 2, 255.255.255.0, and we set the gateway. What's the gateway of VLAN 10? It is 10.1 in the router. So I write it 192.168.10.1. This is the IP address that we set in sub interface for VLAN 10. Okay. Also, I'm going here just to be sure there is no IP before. So I said 192.168.20.2 255.255.255.0, and we set the gateway 192.168 21 because the gateway for VLAN 20 is 21. In sub interface in the router we set it. Okay, now we start to ping from VLAN 10. First of all, we check it. We can ping to the gateway. It's good. We can do it. Now let's check. We can ping to range of the 20. We set the 20.2 here for PC2. If we do everything correct, we must pinging to the other VLANs, and you can see we can ping to 20. So now the router managed to routing the IPs. Okay, we do it same process to be sure everything worked fine. 168.21. First check pinging to the gateway. Perfect. And let's see now we can ping to the range of the VLAN 10. We set for the PC in VLAN 10 2, and you can see it worked. Okay, for DHCP configuration, now I open the Windows server. We set the IP here 5010 as we told, and we set the gateway 5010 in sub interface. And here you can just click here in the server manager, and in server manager you can start to add the roles. Says that which roles you need it for example for Active Directory and so many things. But for now we don't need to use the others functions. Just I am trying to uh, start the DHCP. And if you go in the roles, you can see here in the roles I add the DHCP server. I mark the DHCP and it is active. And if we can go in the DHCP server, I add two scope of VLAN 10 and 20 just for your reference. Here IPv4. Okay, just I make it you. Okay, before I will show you I make the three VLANs. For here it was 10, 20 and 30, but I will just okay, the memory and the CPU now it's full and work very slow. Say VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, but I will go and delete VLAN 30 and just for example show you how set the scope. For example, I want to add a VLAN same as I did it in VLAN 10 and 20. I am going here and check new scope. Just show you how make it in DHCP server. For example, I make a VLAN 30 and click next. I set 192.168.30 from the range of the 1 to 192.168.30.254. Next. Here, if you have some static IP that set it manually, like a DHCP servers, and DHCP server is in VLAN 50, not 30. But for example, if I set a VLAN scope for VLAN 50, I exclude some IPs, they are fixed. For example, 51 or 5010, we make it static and no need to use DHCP. We add it here and says that don't give these IPs to any other. We set it as a static. And for now, we don't need to do anything. Just you click and finish it. It is automatically, you don't need anything else. Maybe, just a moment. I come back. Here you need to add the IP address of router 168.1.1. This is the IP of the router that we set it in the interface, and that's it. We don't need now, for now we don't use any DNS or the other configuration, and just says that yes, make this scope for me, and start to make this scope and add it here. Okay, see, create the VLAN. So that's it. Just I thought it's better explain you how can do it. Now we try to set it. So at the DHCP server, we add the IP helper address in sub interfaces of VLANs, so they know which IP address give the IP from DHCP. They can get the IP. We can try it now. I will go here and clear the IP again. Also PC2 clear IP. I have idea here for Ethernet 03. We can, if it is possible, let's capture the data of these interfaces with Wireshark. Just I open the Wireshark here. We want to monitoring the data of DHCP. So when the Wireshark run, just I am coming here. A moment, please. PC1. Okay. I click here DHCP, but just I'm waiting the Wireshark open. Okay. I use the filter of DHCP. I don't want to capture the other options. So I click here DHCP to check the data. Now in PC1, I click DHCP, and when I click DHCP, the PC will go and request for DHCP server and check it. Is there any DHCP available, and we can get IP. Save the PC start to send, and you can see the PC get the IP of 10.2 from DHCP server. And you know the process discovery, offer, request, acknowledge. And all the requests from the PC is broadcast. I will show you, you will see here. Let's see. See, the discover, it is 255.255. This is broadcast. But the offer and the acknowledge that the server send it because server has the IP, so it is unicast. And you can see it will get it. It is 5010 reply, but as the gateway of this VLAN is 10, One, it shows that offer get it from this IP, but in fact it is it is from 5010. And here the request again is broadcast and acknowledge again unicast. Let's check. So you can obviously see the DORA process also. I right now for VLAN 20. Yeah, that's it. Get the IP, easy. You can try also others PCs just for your reference. I check DHCP, click it here. See, the device get the IP 23 from here. I hope you enjoy it. I cannot upload all the videos in LinkedIn, so please follow my YouTube channel to see all the full videos. Thank you so much and have a nice day.